Now on Nightside, a hazmat situation has closed down I-90 near the Cheney exit. We'll have the latest details on what spilled and how long that cleanup is going to take.
I'm tracking some wet weather on the way for Wednesday. I'll let you know when to expect it and tell you about a return to the 90s in the first alert forecast.
The 20-year push for a new Spokane County jail is going to voters in November. The urgent calls for a delayed vote. We'll have that coming up. Right now, let's get to that breaking news near the Tyler exit on I-90. This is a live look at the Interstate 90 near the Four Lakes exit. Right now, I-90 is closed in both directions. The Washington Department of Transportation says there was a crash involving a semi-truck carrying hazardous material. The semi is overturned and is leaking. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna. Kirsten has the night off. There are detours in place for this closure. We want to show you the map right now. If you're headed westbound on I-90, it is closed at Four Lakes. You'll need to take SR 904 to Tyler. If you're heading eastbound, the interstate is closed at Tyler. You'll also need to take SR 904 to get around the closure. WashDOT says this will be a lengthy closure. Right now, there's no estimate on how long the cleanup will take. People who live within a mile of the Tyler exit are being asked to leave the area. Stay with 4 News now for all the latest information, and tune in to Good Morning Northwest for the most up-to-date information on this closure. Well, crews tonight are monitoring a fire that burned south of Spokane County this afternoon. The fire burned 7 acres before they were able to put a line around it. Air support was called to help, and fire crews say the hard part about fighting this fire was its location. The fire is 100% contained. Crews expect to begin mop-up in the morning. Well, there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, not as much as we could use. Here's Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to give you your 7-day breakdown.
Thank you, Aaron. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have some showers tomorrow morning. Will likely not amount to much, and then the possibility of some mountain thunderstorms. It is going to be sunny starting Thursday, and we do have 90-degree weather on the way in the 7-day forecast. Let's talk about that rain on the way for Wednesday morning. Starting off our forecast radar at 5 in the morning with overcast conditions and some light rain from Wenatchee up through Republic. Some showers possible around Moses Lake. That will be moving into the Spokane area by about 8 o'clock with some heavier rain further to the west. Showers off and on through mid-morning. Here's 11 a.m. By about 1, 2 o'clock will be dry and then staying dry through the afternoon and into the evening with sunny skies. Chance of showers up along the Canadian border, but will be dry in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene and most of the inland northwest. Here is a look at your Wednesday forecast. High temperature of 83 degrees, a little below our average high of 86 with that chance of showers and then sunshine by the time we're into the middle of the afternoon and early evening, and it is going to be sticking around. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and let you know just how hot it is going to get in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Well, jumping into an ice bath first thing in the morning or maybe after a hard workout may not sound like the most pleasant experience, but athletes have been using cold water immersion for recovery purpose for a long time, and now celebrities are hopping on board.
It's 8 in the morning. The pool is 58 degrees. Oh, baby.
I can't feel my feet or my hands.
Professor Mike Tipton from the Extreme Environments Lab at the University of Portsmouth in England has studied the impacts and the risks of severe heat and cold on the human body.
Humans are a tropical animal. We want to be where we evolved, which is sort of east, southeast Africa. Now that means that stepping into cold water is pretty stressful.
The science around the benefits of plunging is murky, but Tipton says cold water immersion may have some benefits like increased energy and productivity.
Water immersion evokes a fight or flight response, and part of that response is to release the stress hormones. So absolutely, going into cold water is going to wake you up.
There are also hazards. According to Tipton, in the first 30 seconds, a cascade of reactions occurs. Cold water sucks heat away 5 times faster than cold air. Skin temperature falls rapidly, causing an uncontrollable gasp. Hyperventilation stops blood flowing to the skin and increases blood pressure. This is known as the cold shock response. So if you want to try it, be sure your doctor clears you of heart risks and never take a plunge alone. You should also avoid water colder than 59 degrees and limit your plunges to 5 to 10 minutes max. A family in Kent, Washington, near Seattle, got a rude awakening Tuesday morning when this car crashed into their house. This photo from the Puget Sound Fire Department shows the SUV lodged inside the home. No one was hurt. Workers spent the day trying to stabilize the house. It's unclear if the home is livable or how the crash happened.
Well, time for a quick look at sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. With the Pac-12 separating, Washington State's future remains uncertain. In a statement on Monday, WSU President Kirk Schultz said the university is searching for what's next for the athletic program. One potential option is to join forces with the Mountain West Conference. This could have an impact on recruiting. There is a possibility players refuse to commit to Washington State if they are not in a power conference. A basketball recruit decommitted from WSU over the weekend due to the uncertainty within the Pac-12. Cougars head coach Jake Dickert says his job doesn't change whether his team's playing Pac-12 football or not.
My job is to still find the diamonds in the rough, the guys that have chip on their shoulder. Recruiting is not going to change. I know our conference changes. We're going to do it our way, and we're going to thrive, and we're going to win games.
And coming up later in sports, why Dickert thinks WSU will be fine no matter what conference they are in. For now, live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Thanks, Julian. Well, the push for a new sales tax increase to fund upgrades to the Spokane County Jail is now getting pushback from the people it's supposed to be helping. Two groups say they've been left in the dark on how this money will be spent and are asking the November vote to be delayed. In a letter, City Council President Lori Kinnear, Council members Zach Sapone and Scott Davies, on behalf of Local 492 corrections officers, are saying they agree with overall need for the upgrades, but how they're getting the funding is raising some red flags. Sapone said the wording on the ballot doesn't make it clear what the $450 million would fund.
We don't know how we can go to taxpayers and ask them to fund something that we don't even know what we would spend it on. That's literally writing us a blank check for $450 million. And we just don't think that taxpayers will support that, nor do I think that they should.
Commissioner Josh Kern says this letter will not have an impact on November's vote.
Know the amount of money that will be brought in by this measure. We know the number of beds in a new facility. We know the additional programs that will be offered within the new facility.
Right now, the question is still on the November ballot. We will keep you updated if that changes. This year, the Spokane School Board is asking the public to pass a $200 million bond to improve buildings throughout the district. On Wednesday, the board will get an update on community feedback as it works to narrow down what to include in this bond. Right now, the board is looking at 3 different scenarios of buildings to include. The schools most in need of renovations are Adams Elementary, Madison, Balboa, and Indian Trails Elementary.
They're on all 3 scenarios. Those are really high priority because of their age and need. And others are something that we definitely have prioritized, that we want to be able to do, but that we can't necessarily do in 2024. We might need to wait until our next bond.
The board of directors will make the final decision on what will be included on the bond in November. Human-like robots are being used to test the dangers of extreme heat as we continue to hit record temperatures. Plus, a FedEx driver pulled a stranger from a burning car, and for the first time since the accident, the survivor and his savior meet face-to-face. That's next on Nightside.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Huckleberry Festival in Trout Creek, Montana.
Send them back to school looking and seeing their best. Get premium eyewear and A+ patient care from the experienced team at Shopko Optical. Cross off eye exams on your back-to-school checklist. Schedule their comprehensive exam today.
At Kaiser Permanente, we care for all those who make your family, well, your family. That's why all of us work together to give them the care and caring that any family would. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and savor every bite. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with our on-site labs to help you fast and 20% off your denture care. So whether you need a new look or quick fix, you can celebrate with a smile all season, always at Aspen Dental. Book today.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tub starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. It was a beautiful morning for the first of 2 annual sheep crossings on Highway 97 near Blewett Pass. The Washington Department of Transportation took this video, coordinates with the ranchers to make sure there's safe crossing for the sheep and no traffic backups. The herd will cross back later this summer. Actually, I drove through a pass in Colorado where a bunch of sheep were on the road, except they didn't have any traffic control.
Oh.
And so the shepherd was out there just making sure the sheep went around the cars.
Jiminy Christmas.
It was, I'm just going to say this, that it left quite the mess on the road.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine, yes. Shepherding, that is hard work if you can get it. Partly cloudy skies tonight, 58 degrees for an overnight low with light winds. Tomorrow, a high temperature of 83 with a chance of showers. A slight chance that you will have measurable rain at your house. A good chance that you'll at least get some precipitation, enough to ruin a car wash or make your windows a little bit dirty. You might need your windshields, but I don't think it's going to amount to a whole lot. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now, and the front that we have been talking about that will be moving through tomorrow morning into the early afternoon. So far does not look very impressive, and it won't be around for long. Here's 8 a.m. Wednesday with the precipitation in progress. You're going to remember it is moving into very dry air, so we may even see some of this try to make it to the surface but evaporate before it does, and that will be long gone by the time we are into the afternoon. Here we go into Thursday. In a northwesterly flow will keep our temperatures just a little below average for Thursday, starting to warm up on Friday, and then by the time we get into Saturday, a ridge of high pressure will send all of the moisture from the Pacific well to our north, and we'll start to bring some heat up from the south. We're headed back up into the 90-degree range by the second half of the weekend. Here's a look at your planning forecast. 88 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday, and mid-90s next week with dry conditions after tomorrow afternoon. We're done with the rain for a while. I will be back with your 8 to 14 day outlook and a stunning pick of the night in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. New on Nightside, Phoenix, Arizona is still baking after having the hottest month ever for any U.S. city on record. Heat is the deadliest weather occurrence, killing about 700 people every year. So Arizona State University is using a robot they call Andy to simulate how humans are impacted by heat.
ANDI stands for Advanced Newton Dynamic Instrument. Andy is like a human. Andy can breathe, sweat. He has a skin temperature, so when you touch him, it's kind of skin is warm.
Oh, wow.
You can see how heavy he's sweating right now. So if we were to put a human through this, you could see how much water they would be losing.
Well, they can even simulate different skin colors and the reaction to heat. They also measure blood distribution and metabolic heat generation. In the future, they hope to be able to detect what organs shut down first and how fast. A small earthquake could be felt in the small community of Fall City, just east of Seattle this morning. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, a 2.8 magnitude earthquake shook the area just before 5 o'clock this morning. The Fall City has a population of about 2,300 people. It's right along the Snoqualmie River. No one was hurt, and there were not reported damages. We'll take a look at this. You're watching the terrifying moment. FedEx driver Jonathan Rohrbach pulls a man from a fiery crash in the middle of the night. 28-year-old Jorge Herrera says he lost control of his car trying to avoid another car before slamming into his guardrail, and then the car burst into flames.
I feel the pain in my body, my legs, my arm. And I realize it's 3 in the morning in the middle of the freeway and no one's out here. And I tried to hop away and I couldn't. My legs, I couldn't use them.
Rohrbach quickly called 911. Today, the two men met for the first time in Herrera's hospital room.
And thank you, because I really didn't think I was going to make it. And I didn't think I was going to have my leg. I don't have any fire burns. And I think that's thanks to you.
I don't consider myself a hero. I don't know. I'm just a regular dude that was just in the right place at the right time.
Jonathan says after he saved Jorge, he got back into a semi, kept delivering packages. Jorge suffered a broken leg, a broken wrist, and a torn ligament. He is expected to make a full recovery. Summer is wrapping up faster than you know it, and soon Spokane schools will welcome students back for the fall. But the end of summer also means shopping for supplies, and those supplies can add up to a pretty good chunk of money. With Americans predicted to spend over $41 billion on back-to-school essentials this year, it's important to know the best ways to save in these upcoming weeks. NerdWallet's Kimberly Palmer tells us it's best to get the shopping out of the way as soon as possible.
The best time to start your back-to-school shopping is as soon as you get the supply list from your teacher or school. In general, with back-to-school shopping, the sooner you start, the better deals you can find.
You can also talk to your child's teacher to see what items won't be needed until later in the year. Buying those items when they're on sale during the holiday shopping season might extend your budget. School lunches aren't always easy. You want food to be healthy, but your children want lunch to be fun. Strong for Life dietitian Catherine Sherry says what you pack is a key to keeping students fueled and focused throughout the school day.
Lunches should have a fruit, a vegetable, a protein or a fat to help keep them fuller longer, and a whole grain for some carbohydrates.
Sherry recommends cold whole wheat pasta salad with some veggies and Italian dressing, and a couple hard-boiled eggs and some fruit, or try homemade Lunchables, deli meat and cheese, or even deconstructed tacos. Your child may have fun putting it together. The dietitian says to also let your kid help pack their lunch and take them to the grocery store to let them choose which fruits, veggies, or other foods they'd like each week. She says that way they feel a part of the process and are more likely to eat the lunch you pack. A new scam is targeting Bank of America customers, costing some of them thousands. That's next on Nightside.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action. The Northwest Autism Center is expanding into a new space. All these cubicles have to go. The carpet's got to be removed, and we've got a couple of days to do it. It's coming in August. I'm Mark Peterson. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and of course you can't become, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $5,100 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Are you ready to unleash the power of productivity? Get ready for the ultimate workhorse, the Kubota BX Series tractors at Adams Tractor. With a powerful engine, versatile attachments, and compact size, these tractors can tackle any job with ease. For a limited time, Adams Tractor is offering a special deal, 0 down, 0% APR financing for up to 84 months. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Visit Adams Tractor today and unleash the power of the Kubota BX Series tractors. We have loads of tractors in stock. Get yours now.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
summer storms. Sudden, intense, dangerous. 4 News Now First Alert Weather warns you in advance.
Up to quarter-size hail.
Keeping you informed until the threat is past and your family is safe. On the air, on the app, only on 4 News Now.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Scammers are targeting users of the Bank of America app, Zelle, costing customers thousands. Fraudsters call or send realistic-looking text messages that appear to be from Bank of America, urging customers to ignore alerts about fraudulent charges or suspicious money transfers.
Very pernicious what they do. Not only are they posing as your bank, they claim to be reaching out to protect you from fraud.
That's what happened to Rachel Alder, who says she lost $5,500 after she received a text asking her if she'd made a $432 charge at a Walmart in Texas. When she replied no, she immediately received a call from someone claiming to be a representative from Bank of America. Ariel Reshef reports.
He sounded very kind. He seemed to be very educated, patient, caring, all of these things.
But turns out it was a scammer. The man telling her someone was using digital money transfer service Zelle to withdraw money from her account.
Did you make 2 Zelle transfers, one for $2,000, one for $1,500? And I said no.
Then Adler says the man instructed her to wire money back to her account. But turns out all that money went straight to crooks.
Then I noticed that at the top of the account, the $2,000 I had just Zelled to myself was now a debit.
And it didn't stop there. The man warned her she'd get a text from Bank of America about a suspicious transfer, but to disregard it. And sure enough, she did.
Those were the things that he was preemptively saying, you're going to receive this text from the bank and you don't have to pay attention to it because we're handling it on this phone call right now.
In a statement, Bank of America telling us they prioritize client protection and will never ask a client to send money to themselves or anyone.
If you have a Google account but haven't used it in a while, prepare to use it or lose it. The company's starting the process of deleting accounts that have been inactive for at least 2 years. They say they'll send multiple warnings to people before accounts are deleted. According to Google, inactive accounts are a security issue. The company says these accounts likely rely on recycled passwords and are less likely to have security features like two-step verification, making them vulnerable to phishing, hacking, and spam. An EF2 tornado hit eastern Tennessee on Monday. According to the National Weather Service, wind speeds topped out at 130 miles per hour, leaving a path of destruction 200 yards wide. Data released by the NWS says the tornado touched down in Hardin Valley, traveling northeast for almost 4 miles. The tornado reached its maximum wind speed while tearing through an apartment complex and homes near Lovell Cove, displacing more than 300 people. EF2 tornadoes are categorized by wind speeds between 111 and 135 miles per hour, but they're rarely seen in the month of August. The only other EF2 tornado recorded in August dates back to 1964.
High temperatures today were running below average, 82 in Spokane, 82 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, and we have 2 more days of below average temperatures. Just a little bit, though. This white line is our average high, and it's dropping. We are going to be down at 84 for our average high by this time next week. We're past the hottest time of the year, but as the average high goes down, our actual high temperatures go up. We're going to be in the mid-90s by this time next week. And the 8 to 14-day forecast does keep us with those above average temperatures. You don't have to go far to find the cool air just across the Continental Divide. We are also seeing an increased chance of above average precipitation in North Idaho, although the Climate Prediction Center's not had the best track record this summer with their above average precipitation forecasts, which they've had for us for most of the summer, and we know how that has turned out. Meanwhile, let's talk about this pick of the night. You know I love the pinks and purples, and this photo from Carol Sales Ridbaum just blows me away. It's gorgeous. She captured this image yesterday evening on Priest Lake out in the kayak, and this is from the east side of the lake around Kavanaugh Bay, looking to the northwest. Isn't that a tranquil, serene scene? And oh, we are invited to Carol's, Aaron, anytime. So
oh, perfect.
I know. Let's all go and visit Carol.
I'll bring the snacks.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Chris. Well, Mark Peterson and the Extreme team are helping the Northwest Autism Center build a new recreation center. With a new grant, the center will offer services to all families, regardless of ability. The Northwest Autism Center is currently open Monday through Friday. Services are individualized, so each child receives exactly what they need. They do a variety of activities like crafts and group time. The goal is to teach them skills they'll use at school or while out in the community. One dad of a 5-year-old says his daughter has grown leaps and bounds while at the center.
Actually pretty amazing to see. She responds to her name. She's almost having, nearly full conversations. When you sit down and talk to her, it's like you're really getting more information from her versus, just no answer at all.
Similar services will be offered at the Recreation Center for free. It is set to open this October. Activities will range from cooking classes to movie night. For more information, go to our website, KXLY.com. Abortion remains a key issue among Americans a year after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. A new CNN poll found 64% of adults disapprove of the Dobbs ruling. That number is unchanged from last year. What has changed is how important the issue is to people. 29% of Americans say they would only vote for a candidate who shares their view on abortion. 26% said the same a year ago. And among those who support the decision, 34% now say they'd like to see a nationwide abortion ban instead of leaving the issue to states. The collapse of the Pac-12 could lead to the loss of bowl games for the remaining schools. How bowl season changes with conference realignment next in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Great Homes of Idaho in Post Falls.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
$100,000 pyramid is back, and this season is going to be big.
You put this in your ear to clean it out? Pass.
I would have guessed harpoon.
I just wet my plants.
I'm just glad they chose that, Michael.
Big money, big celebrities, and a big new season.
I got that.
You know what you got?
You got it wrong.
Of the $100,000 pyramid.
ABC's World News Tonight.
And 4 News Now.
When the local story is national news.
When national stories hit home. Watch ABC World News Tonight at 5:30.
And 4 News Now at 6. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
What's good about River Ridge Hardware and how we stand out as a neighborhood hardware store, when a customer comes in, it's our opportunity to help them with whatever project they're doing, whether it's painting or building something new. We truly want to help you. What makes Peter's Hardware Store stand out in the neighborhood is it is eclectic type hardware store since 1934. And yes, we're the oldest working hardware store in Spokane. It's really a fun place to visit.
Winning a new Yukon Denali at Northern Quest is easy. Sending your other car to live on a farm upstate? Well, you'll get over it. The $116,000 Yukon Rush giveaway, now through September 29th at Northern Quest. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, and enter our Super 7s giveaway this month for a shot at over $77 grand. Details at northernquest.com.
When occasional heartburn won't let you sleep, get fast relief with new Tums Plus Heartburn Plus Sleep Support. Love food back and fall asleep faster.
I'm beyond excited to represent Washington State in this new phase of where we're going. I know there's uncertainty, but my job right now is faith, trust, and belief.
Washington State head coach Jake Dickert is confident the Cougars will land on their feet. With more schools possibly leaving the Pac-12, Washington State doesn't want to end up like that episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all alone, nowhere to go. In a statement on Monday, Washington State President Kirk Schultz said they are looking far and wide for a suitable home for the Cougar athletic program. Reports say the Big 12 has no appetite to add Washington State or any of the remaining Pac-12 schools. Cougars head coach Jake Dickert pleaded his case for the program after practice earlier today.
In the last 5 full seasons, we have the 4th best overall record in the Pac-12, okay, of the 12 members that were here. Wherever we go, we're going to be a flagship institution of whatever conference that is, okay? And Pat and President Schultz are going to take care of whatever the next phase of Washington State football looks like.
There is a huge sense of urgency at WSU as more schools could be leaving the Pac-12. The ACC reportedly met today to discuss the possibility of adding Stanford and Cal to the conference. No decisions are expected to be made anytime soon. Travel costs are being taken into consideration as the ACC schools are on the opposite side of the country. Reports say Stanford and Cal could get less of a revenue share with the extra money going towards those travel costs. According to college football insider Brett McMurphy, all 5 Pac-12 bowls have begun discussions with other conferences about changing affiliations starting in 2024. The 5 bowl games are under contract with the Pac-12 for the next 3 years. That is expected to be reevaluated with the conference losing 2/3 of its schools after this season. These are the bowl games with Pac-12 tie-ins. The Rose Bowl, which traditionally includes the Pac-12 champion, will be a regular part of the college football playoff starting next season, so it's not included in this list. Washington State played in the LA Bowl last season, which is a game between the Pac-12 and Mountain West. One example could be that game-changing affiliation if the current Pac-12 schools merge with the Mountain West. Washington State starting defensive back Sam Lockett broke his hand in an off-the-field incident. This is bad news for the Cougars. Lockett led the team in interceptions last season. Utah State transfer Dominic Tatum will replace Lockett for now. There is no timetable on Lockett's return. Dickert says they hope to get him back sooner than later.
Dom has been, doing some things that, he's a 2-year starter, so he's used to that role, and we need to catch him up to speed. I just think when you get a kid this first 6 months and we have Dom for another year, there's a lot of catching up to do schematically.
Tatum joined the team in April and went through the entire summer workout program, so he's well acquainted with the guys already. And that'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.